Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel Tech Journey with Ankit. In today's video, we will be going over one of the coding question that has been asked in the interview. This coding question is based on the Lightning Web Component and many of you have requested in the Telegram channel to show the solution of this particular interview question. So with the help of this video, we will go and try to implement that LWC coding interview question. So without further delay, we can get started going over that question and solve the problem as well. But before that, in case you folks like to have one-to-one connect with me, or in case you folks wants to download the code that we are building today, you guys can go to the top mate and do that. Moreover, in case you folks wants to join the larger community where we discussed all the Salesforce queries, you can also join the Telegram channel too. If you go to the top mate folks, under the top mate, you will see you will see one PDF which is having the lots of interview question. Basically, you have to go to the top mate. If you go to the top mate, there are two options that you do have. You can go for one-to-one call with me, or you can go to the digital product option where you will see the interview prep guide. There are lots of other guides which are also available, which I got for which I got lots of love from most of you. You do have the admin guide, data cloud guide, LWC guide, and the interview prep guide. Right, in this interview prep guide, if you go and purchase that, you will get more than 350 plus frequently asked interview questions, where you will see the interview questions based on the different modules like the LWC, integration, flows, Apex, and with the detailed description, all those questions and the answers will be available with the proper code snippet, with the proper explanation, so that you guys don't have to look into the different things while you are preparing for the interview. I personally feel that this guide will definitely help you to speed up your interview journey. And as I said, if you want to download the code that we are building today, that code will also be available with this guide as well. So this guide will definitely help you to get prepared for the interview. Now, without further delay, we can go over the problem statement and try to understand what we have to build today. So as a part of problem statement, what we have to do here is we have to go and build the Lightning Web Component where we have to go and show the list of accounts which is owned by the logged in user. In case there are no accounts which are owned by the logged in user, then we have to go and display the message you do not own any account. Next to that, what we have to do here is to the first column, we have to go and specify the different columns on my table in case the records are available, where the first column should have the hyperlink to the account record, and the other columns like the account type, account billing, account country, and also we have to show how many related opportunities are available for that particular account. There are two buttons that also we have to show. First is the new contact and second is the delete button. On the click of the new contact button, we have to open up the modal where user can go and create the contact record, and on the click of the delete button, we have to go and display the we have to go and check in case there are no open opportunities available, then we have to allow the user to delete the opportunities. In case there are any open opportunities, then we have to give the error message, you cannot delete this opportunity. So by the end of this project, we will be building our Lightning Web Component, which will look something like this, which is having the hyperlink. Here we are showing the related records, we are showing the two different buttons as well, and on the click of the button, we will be performing the different operation. To get started, we will go and build the account controller first, where we will be checking whether the logged in user have the records or not. So I will be creating the Apex class. I'm naming the Apex class here as an account with opportunity controller. Right, in that controller, I will go and put one method. I am making the method aura enabled, right? And also I'm making sure that here I am specifying the cacheable equal to true. Why this is mandatory? Because I will be invoking this method from the wire decorator. So CACHEA cacheable equal to true. What I have to go and return this method for the time being, I am putting void because I will explain what will be the return type. And here I am putting the method name get account with opportunities, and here I go and write down the logic to do that. So what I will be doing here is here I'll making my query list of account, or let me go with the for equal loop. So here I'll be putting for account ACC colon select ID comma name comma I want to get the type. I want to also get the billing country, comma. I have to get all the related opportunities. So I have, again, whenever we have to get the related opportunities, we have to write down the parent to child relationship query. So here I go and do that. Here I'll be putting select ID from opportunities and from account, where I have to get all the accounts based on the logged in user, right? So how I can do that? Where owner ID is equal to user info dot uh, get user ID. So here I do have this out of the box method in the Apex, which will give me who is the logged in user, and accordingly we can go and fetch the record. So this is how I am writing down my for SQL query. Here I should go and put the equals to. Right now, I will start iterating over this account one after the other. But as I said, what I have to return, I have to return the combination of different data here. So whenever you have to return the combination of different data, we always take the help of the wrapper class. So here I'll be putting the public class. Let's say I am putting here the output wrapper. It's always a good practice again to put the to start the class name with the uppercase. So here I'll be putting the class, and in my class, whatever the different types of data that I have to send, I will go and prepare that data. So again, if I go over the problem statement, what they are asking in the problem statement, I should have the account name, which is having the hyperlink. So basically I'll be sending the name URL here. So the first thing that I will putting up here that I have to send here is the name URL. Now the second thing that is asking here is the account type. So here I go and put the account type. The third thing that it is asking here is the account billing country. So here I can go and put @ Aura enabled country, right? Fourth thing that it is asking here is the total opportunities. So here again I am putting @ Aura enabled integer number of opportunities. And the last thing that I want to put up here is the account ID as well, because I have to go and access that account ID in my data table. So again I'll be putting @Aura enabled uh, public uh, string account ID. And the last thing that I also want here is the account name, because I have to go and display that name in the table. So I have created one wrapper class where I have defined what all the different fields that I want. What I will do, I will go and populate this wrapper. So here I go and put output wrapper. Sorry, let me go and put output wrapper. Output is equal to new of output wrapper, right? And then the next thing that I am putting up here is I'll be populating all those different fields, right? So first field, I have to go and populate the URL. So whenever you have to populate the URL, folks, always remember that you should start with the slash and put the account ID. Data table will automatically take care by defining the correct type attributes by putting the correct account name, and also it will take care of the navigation as well. Only thing that you have to take care here is whenever you are preparing the field name for the data table, you should go and put the slash followed appending with the account ID. Okay. Next thing that I am populating here is the account ID. After that, I'll be populating the next thing here is the account name. Only thing that I am doing here is I am taking one property at a time and populating the value from that particular account record. So name URL, account ID, account name, type, country. I believe we have populated everything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next thing that we have to go and populate here is the total opportunity. So how we will get the total opportunity? Again, total opportunities, we have to go and first get account, all the related opportunities. There will be more than one. So definitely there will be a list collection. And from the list collection, if we have to count how many entries are present, we always do that by using the size method, right? From the list, whenever you have to count how many entries are present, you always do that with the size method. So again, here also I am doing the same. I am using the size method and getting the number of opportunities linked to that account. Now, next thing I have to go and store this into the wrapper collection. So let me go and define that wrapper list of output wrapper. Here I am go and defining the variable output wrapper list in which I will go and store my output. This wrapper list will be the return type for me, right? Before I go back. So this will be my return type. And what I am doing here is after the end of this method, here I go and put the return statement and returning my wrapper list. So based on the requirement, I have populated the different columns and finally I am returning the list. Now the next thing that we will do, we will go and create the lightning web component where we will go and display the account with opportunities. So here I'll be creating the component display account with opportunities. And I have to go and invoke this method with the help of wire decorator. So very first thing that I am doing here is I am importing the wire decorator. After that, I'll be importing that particular method as well that I have to invoke. The method name here is get account with opportunity. So import from @Salesforce, and this is my class name dot method name. Now I will be invoking this method. So here I go and invoke this method @wire get account with opportunities, and I do have my accounts data. Whatever the data that I am getting, I am putting that data into the accounts data, or it's better to give the name only as the account, right? I hope in case you guys have attended the bootcamp, you already know that whenever we get the output from the wire decorator, you always have the two things. One is the data and second is the error. Now coming to the problem statement, I have to check whenever I am getting any data. In case I don't have any account, I have to show the error message that you don't have any account. So what I am doing here is in my controller file, I will be defining one getter method where we will check whether the records are available or not. So here I'll be putting is records available, right? So here I'll be putting in case I do have the data value available in the accounts, I can say that the data is available. Otherwise, I will say that the data is not available. So I will go and use this getter method in my HTML file to make that decision whether the data is available or not available. So here I'll be putting template LWC if, right? If the data is available, this block will execute. If the in case the data is not available, then the other block will execute. So here I go and put the template else, and here I am putting data is not available or no accounts for logged in user. Let me put the message something like this: no accounts for logged in user, right? So now in case the records are available for the logged in user, we have to go and display the data in the form of data table. Again, you don't have to remember any syntax. As I said, you should always go to the component library, and in the component library here you can look for the data table, whether the records are available for that data table or not. So I'm navigating here to the data table. Yeah, I'm copying this code and we will make the changes according to our requirement. Here I go and paste it. We don't need the templates. So I am removing the templates from here, right? And now we'll go and make the changes. So key field that I want here, it should be ID, because based on that only the record will be identified. In my scenario, I do have the ID available. If I go to my controller, I do have the ID available in the field account ID. So here I will be populating the ID as the account ID, right? Now the next thing that I'll be putting up here is the data. My data is coming up in the table, that is the this dot accounts dot data. So again, I'll be copying this accounts dot data, navigating to my HTML file and printing up here. Now the next thing that we have to go and define here is the columns. Again, rather than you go and start designing the column from the scratch, again you can come to the documentation, copy the columns from here. I'm not getting the const keyword. Okay, I'm only copying the columns, navigating to my JavaScript file, and here I go and define the column structure. Now we have to definitely go and make the changes in that column structure as per our requirement, but this is how the column structure will look like. So the first thing that we have to go and display of type URL. So let me go and remove the label. I am changing the label here as the account name, where the field name for the account that we have defined here is the name URL. So copying the name URL, pasting it here, it will be of type URL. Now the next important thing that I have to do here is I have to go and define the type attributes. In the type attribute, you will go and specify in the name URL what actual value that you will be displaying. So what I am doing here is, again, you don't have to remember anything. As I said, you can come here, look for the type attributes, and here you will get the lots of help how to define the type attributes, how to use the type attribute. You will get all those details here, right? So what I am doing here is I am copying up here, putting the type attributes, putting the colon. I am putting the first type attribute here, that is the label, because what I want to go and put up here is the label, which is having the field name again coming up from the account name. So I'm putting up here the field name. The field name that I have given for the account name is this. So coming up here, copying and pasting the field name as the account name. Now the next thing that I have to go and specify here is the target. Why target? Because target is something which will define when the user clicked on that hyperlink, where the user should navigate, whether the user should go and navigate, whether the user should go and open the new record in the same page or in the new tab. I want it should be opened up in the new tab. So here I go and specify the target as the blank. That is the only thing that we have to do here. Let me check if I am missing anything. Now this looks good, right? This is how I have defined the type attribute for the account name. Moving to the next field that I have to go and display it is of type. For the type, the field name that I have defined here is the type. Coming up here, putting the field name as type, and type for this is text. Now coming to the next thing that I am putting up here is the billing country. So here I will be putting the billing country as the label. The field name for the billing country that I have defined here is the country. So copying the country, pasting here under the field name. It is of again type text. Right now, the last thing that I have to go and put up here is the total opportunity. So here I go and put the total opportunity. The field name for the total opportunity that I do have here is the number of opportunity. Copying up here, pasting up here. This one, it is of type number, right? Because we have to go and specify the number of opportunities. So it will be of type number. Now, as per the design, they have asked me to add two additional columns. You guys can see here, last column must show the two buttons, that is the new contact as well as the delete one, right? So it should look basically something like this. There should be two buttons. One is for the contact and second one is for the button. So what I will be doing here is I will be defining the two buttons here. So how you go and define the button? It's very simple again. You have to go and specify the type is equal to button. If you go and put the type is equal to button, right, then you can go and specify the different type attributes. For example, what should be the label, what should be the name, all those things can be defined from here. So here I go and put the type attributes. Here I will go and specify the different type attributes. For example, the label should be the create contact, the name should be the create contact, the variant of the button should be brand, icon position where you want the button, I want the button should be in the left, right? Similarly, you can go and specify the another button as well. So again, I am copying this and pasting it here. So my another button will be, let me go and put the comma, right? My another button here will be of type button again, but this time it will be of delete account. So here I go and put the delete account. Right here I am putting the variant for that button as the destructive, which will help me to give the red color button destructive. Icon position I am keeping it as the left. So this is how we have defined the different types of buttons here. right? So my table is ready. I can go and check whether data is loading on my table or not, whether the buttons are coming up as expected or not, and then we will go and define the functionalities which are specific to these buttons. So here I navigate to the XML file, putting is exposed value as true, defining the targets. Target here I am putting as the app page. Right, let me go and deploy this. In my scenario, I have already created the app page, so I will be putting my component directly on this app page. You can also expose your component to the home page or to the record page and put it up there as well. So on my org, if I navigate here, we have created the component. Let me go and refresh this. The component is not coming up. Why? Because we are able to find the action. Okay, there is something wrong here. Let me check if I have deployed this. In case not, let me go and deploy this first, Apex class. While deploying our Apex class, we are getting an error because we have to return the list, and I only put this as the wrapper list. So that was a typo from my side. Let me go and correct that typo and deploy my Apex class one more time. Now my Apex class is created. Navigating to my JavaScript file, let me go and deploy this part as well. So this was also created. Now let's go to the org, try to refresh the page and check whether the component is available or not. So my component is available. I am putting that component here, clicking on save. So you guys can see that in my org, there are 4 accounts. All the accounts are getting coming up here. Moreover, we are getting the opportunities. Again, in my org, there are no type mentioned and there is billing country mentioned only for one account. So that's why only one is coming up here. But otherwise, from the data table point of view, we are very good. Now, only thing that we have to write down here is I don't want this particular checkbox. So what I can do here is in my HTML file, coming up here, I can go and specify hide checkbox column to true. What I want to do here is I want to go and show the row number. So here I am putting the show row number as well. Now the next thing that I want to define here is the actions for each row, right? When the user clicked on this particular row, I want to execute the action. So whenever you do have again that kind of a requirement, you can come here and look for the row action, right? This is how you can go and define the action for each row. So again, I am copying this code from here to go and define the action for each particular row, putting up here. So whenever we have to take any action, basically this method will execute. So I will come here to my JavaScript file and I'm writing down the code for this function. This is where you can see the code has been written for this function. So again, I am copying up and pasting it here, right? Later we will go and make the changes in that particular function. Now what we have to do, there are 2 buttons that we do have. You can see action.name. There are 2 cases that we do have in our scenario as well. The first action that we have to take when the user clicked on the create contact button. So I am copying this create contact and pasting it here, right? When the user clicked on this button, then I have to go and perform the operation. Again, whatever the operation that we have to perform, we will do that in the separate line. Okay, so what I'll be doing here is I am creating one method. That method will be responsible to perform the create operation. So here I'll be putting the create contact, and what I am expecting from this method here is the account ID, right? What is the account on which user is performing the operation? So what I am doing here is here I will be invoking the method and passing the account ID. How I can pass the account ID? You guys can see that I do have the row here. Now in my row, which is the column that is having the account ID is the column which is having the account ID. So what I am doing here is here I will be putting this dot create contact, and what I will be passing here is the account ID for that particular row. Similarly, in the case of delete, what I'll be doing here is I am creating a separate method which will take care of the delete operation. So delete account. Here also I am expecting the account ID, what account I have to go and delete. And what I am doing here is again here also I am executing that particular method, this dot delete account. and here again I am passing the row ID. So based on the row action that has been taken, we will be executing the logic into the separate methods, right? And here we are invoking those methods. Now the next thing that we have to do, how you go and create the contact. There are different ways that you can take to create the contact. You can go with the LDS approach, you can go with the base component, you can write down your own logic as well. The easiest approach that I personally feel that you should go for is the navigation approach. In the navigation, we can go and also create the record as well. So what I am doing here is, here I will be looking for the navigation mixin, basically with the help of which I can go and perform the navigation to create the record. So here, to perform the navigation, the very first thing that you have to do, you have to go and import the navigation mixin in your component. The second thing that you have to do here is you have to go and extend it with the navigation mixin. I have explained this in very detail in my bootcamp, how you can perform the navigation in between the components. Right. So this is the second step that I am doing. I am extending the navigation mixin. Now the third step that I will be doing here is, okay, I believe I have made something wrong. This one curly brace is missing here. So let me go and add that curly brace for the above method. Now we are good. Right. Now the third step that we have to do here is we have to go and perform the navigation. But here, while performing the navigation, we have to also make sure that we are populating the default values as well. So how you can go and populate the default value? Again, to do that, in the component library, you can look for the page reference util. And under the page reference util, we do have one method that is the encode field default values, where you can go, with the help of which you can go and populate the default values. So this is, no, sorry, I am inside the aura. Here I am looking for the page, yeah, page reference util, this one, right? So what I am doing here is I will be importing this particular method, with the help of which I can go and populate the default value. Now let's go and populate the default value before we go and invoke the create operation. To do that, what I am doing here is I am defining one object in which I will be populating the default value. So here you guys can see const default value. This is the method that I am using, that I have just now imported encode field default value, right? And here I am passing the account ID, with the help of which we have to go and perform the import operation. Now my default value is ready. How we can go and perform the operation? First thing that what we will do, we will go and create the page reference. Again, to create the page reference, navigate to the navigation module one more time in the component library. And here you guys can see there's a link for the page reference type. If you clicked on that link, look for the object page type. Here you do have the option navigate to the record create page with the default field values. So what I am doing here is, here I am again copying the code that needs to be created for the page reference. Control C. Let me put up here something like this. Let page reference is equal to the code that just now I have copied. So let me go. Now, definitely you have to make the changes according to your requirement here, because this is a kind of a standard code that they have put as a reference. So here I want to go and perform the operation on the contact object. I want to go and create the new record, right? The next thing that I want to do here is I want to go and populate the default field values, which is available in this particular variable. So what I am doing here is, here I am removing everything and populating the default values. Again, I don't want to override anything. So let me go and remove that override parameter as well. And here we are good with the page reference. Now the next thing that we have to do, we have to go and invoke the navigation method. Again, to do that, go back to the navigation module one more time, and there you will see the syntax, how you can invoke the navigation. You guys can see this is the method that we have to use to invoke the navigation, right? So here again I am pasting it, and what I am passing here is the page reference, right? This is how, with the help of which I am invoking the navigation. The benefit with this navigation approach here is it will open up in the form of modal, it will open up with the default values. So all the things that the interviewer have asked in the requirement document, everything is getting fulfilled by using this particular approach. Right now, the next thing that we have to do here is we have to write down the operation to delete the account as well. But for the deletion, the prerequisite was the deletion should happen only for the records which is having the which is not having any open opportunities. So what I will be doing here is I will be creating that method, right, with the help of which I can go and perform the delete operation, which does not have any open opportunities. So again, coming back here to my Apex class, putting @aura enabled method. Here I'll be putting the method name here as delete account with no open opportunities. And what I am getting here as a part of input parameter is the account ID, right? So what I will be doing for this account here, I will be checking whether is there any open opportunities are available or not. So here I can go and put account ACC is equal to select ID, comma ID opportunities. Now, one quick question that I want you guys to answer with me, if you are following me in this video, whether I should go and put here the cacheable equal to true or not. Okay, if I put, what will happen, or as a part of best practice, should I put up here or I should not put up here? You guys have to tell me. And again, the motive of this method is to perform the delete operation. Based on that, I want you guys should go and answer me this one. Answer me this. Okay. So what I am checking here is, here I am looking for the opportunities, but I am only interested in the opportunities which are closed. So what I'll be putting up here is where is closed is equal to false. So I will get in case there are any open opportunities are available. So what I am putting up here is as a part of next condition, if the size is greater than 0, that means in case I do have any open opportunities, then what I should do, I should go and throw the exception, right? In case there are any open opportunities are present, then I should go and throw the exception. So this is where I will be throwing the exception. Account cannot be deleted due to open opportunities. But in case we are good, there are no open opportunities, then what I will be doing, I will be populating the I will be performing the delete operation. So again, I am doing it in the try catch block, where what I will be doing here is I will be performing the delete operation on the account. And in the case of exception, here I go and put exception EX. And here I will be throwing the exception in case there are some error got. For example, out of the box, this is the standard object. Salesforce does not allow you to delete the account in case there are any cases are linked. There can be a number of reasons. So it's always a good practice to go and throw the exception. Again, I'll be using the aura handled exception only to throw the exception. And here I'll be putting the exception message ex dot get message. Right? So again, I am repeating one more time. This is my method which will get the open opportunities. Here I am checking in case there are any open opportunities. I am throwing the error message. In case not, I am performing the delete operation. And if the delete operation is failing, again, I am throwing the exception. In this method, I don't have to return anything. So I am putting here the return type as void for now. And I believe this looks good. Let me go and deploy this, and we will be invoking this method now to perform the delete operation. So again, navigating to my controller file, the very first thing that I am doing here is I will be importing this method from my controller. Right now, the next thing that I am doing here is I'll be performing the delete operation. Again, delete operation that you will be performing, it is always an asynchronous operation. So how to take care of the asynchronous operation? By using the async method, right? You can also go with the promise. I personally prefer to use async. And whenever we have to go and invoke the Apex method, I generally do it in the try catch block, so that in case any exception come, I can go and handle that exception. So here I'll be putting the await, invoking that particular method, and this method is expecting the account ID. right? So I'll be passing the account ID. What is the parameter name that I have given? Parameter name here is the account ID. So here I go and put account ID, and the value that I am passing here is this particular account ID, right? So this is how I'll be invoking my method to perform the delete operation. Now there can be two possibilities, either the success or the failure. In both the scenarios, I want to display the message. So whenever we have to display the message, again we take the help of the toast event. So again navigating here, looking for the platform show toast event, importing the show toast event module, coming back, performing the import operation, and this is the method that I will be using to display the error message. Coming back here one more time, and displaying the error message, right? So here I can go and say that show toast. Let's say I am having the three input parameter: input, title, uh, input message, and input variant, right? So because I don't want to hard code anything, that's why I have defined all these three parameters. Now here I go and put input title, message. I am saying that input message. And the third thing that I am putting up here is the variant, where I am saying I do have the input variant as well, using which I can go and display the message. Now what I will be doing in case of success, here I will be putting the toast message, this dot show toast, and here I will be displaying the message. And in the case of error, I will be displaying the error message, this dot show toast, and here I will be displaying the error message. So whenever you have to display the error message, this is how you go and get the message and display it. Now the next last thing that we have to do here in my code is I have to go and refresh the table as well. As soon as the delete operation is completed, we have to go and refresh our table. So how you go and refresh the table? To do that, we will be taking the help of the refresh apex, right? So what I'll be doing here is I will be importing here the refresh apex, right? And this refresh apex, I'll be importing it from the Salesforce apex module. With the help of this refresh apex, what we can do, we can go and pass the output of our wire decorator so that it will be automatically refreshed. So what I have to do here is, only thing that I have to do here is I have to go and pass the output of my wire decorator as soon as the record is deleted. So that what will happen, it will again ask the wire decorator to invoke and get the refresh data. So here again I am putting the await because this is again an asynchronous operation where I will be putting the refresh apex, and what I am passing here is the output of my wire decorator. You can see the output of my wire decorator is account. So here I will be passing this dot account. This also looks good. Let me go and try to deploy this and check whether it is working as expected or not. So here I go and deploy this, right? For the testing purpose, what I will be doing, I will be creating one of the account, and we'll see if we can go and delete that particular account. Let me go and refresh this. What's happening? Yeah. So here I'll be putting up the, sorry, the system looks a bit slow. I'm not sure why. Let me go and try it out one more time. Navigating to the accounts, clicking on the new button, right? Here I'll be putting the test account and clicked on save, right? So now let's go and see If we go and try to delete this account which does not have any open opportunities, whether the system will allow me to delete, and the table is getting refreshed or not, other things are coming up. You guys can see the row number is coming up, the column checkbox is hidden. If I go and click on the create contact, the pop-up is coming up with the account name is coming up as default. So that functionalities are working as expected. Let's go and check for the delete account. If I click on this button, nothing happened actually. So let's go and try to debug this, why this is not working. Coming back to the sources, I am opening the code. My component name here is display account with opportunity. Might be some typo from my side, so let's navigate. Let's put the control here and clicking on the delete button. Okay, control itself is not coming up here. Let's see if the control is coming up here. Okay, I understood the error. The error is coming up because I have not changed that particular case, right? So here the action dot name that we have defined is the delete account. So I have to go and put the name correct here. There was a typo in the name, so I am first correcting that typo, and after that what I am doing here is scrolling it down, and here I will be putting the delete account. Right here I go deploy this one more time, because here itself I can see, right, in the action name, if you guys can see, I have only put the delete. Because of this I have made the decision that it is not coming up here. Now the code is deployed. Let me go and clear the cache, close this, refresh the page, and we'll try it out one more time whether it is coming up as expected or not. So here I go, click on the delete account button. Now you guys can see account deleted successfully, and my table is also refreshed correctly as well. There are too many learning folks. If you go and practice this video, you will understand how to use the wrapper class. You will understand how to add the button as the action. You will understand how to go and perform the row actions. You will understand how to perform the DML operations on the data table, right? There are lots of different learnings that you will have in this video. Again, from the interview perspective, definitely you will not be writing all this code, but you should be in a position to explain the flow wise what all different things that needs to be done to meet the solution, right? But in practice, if you have to go and build this is all steps that you will be following, right, where you will be building that particular solution. And as I said, if you want to download this particular code, make sure that you guys are having the interview prep guide. This guide I frequently update, right? You can always get the updated guide from my drive, where you will get the maximum questions for your interview preparation. There are lots of different types of questions, scenario based questions, coding based questions that I'm planning to put as a part of this one. I hope you folks have liked this particular video. Do let me know in the comment section if you found this helpful. Thank you. Have a good time.